Hello, everyone. Today I'm talking to the lovely and charming Sheila Neufeld. Hello, Sheila.
Hi.
So, Sheila's in Vancouver. I'm in the booming metropolis of Sarnia, Ontario. Sheila, hello. I just asked you this before we came on. How long have we known each other?
I think 2016 maybe.
Oh, really?
I
I feel like I've
think I
known you for so long. Like, it doesn't feel like only that long, right?
yeah, I'd have to check, but I thought it was 2016, somewhere in there.
You're
Yeah.
probably right because it's when I was in the last spot in City Square Shopping Center.
Yeah.
And I remember you coming in and us having this whole conversation about you doing a show, and you were so lovely and kind, and you always have been. And we've worked together for a long time since then.
Yeah, we have. It's going by so quickly.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So your work is really so I found your work when you first came to me compared to
Mhm.
the work that you're doing now. Like you really have it's the same but very different, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your newer work. Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Um, the two series that I'm working on right now are I'm doing some small paintings for the Universe series. So that one kind of started in 2018 and is ongoing. And then I'm doing a creation series. So that one's just started in the last year and a half. And that's ongoing too. The one I'm painting right now so I'm having a show at the end of November at Da Vinci Sensei in Tuason Mills. And so,
Okay.
because he loved astronomy, so I'm putting the Universe series into that location. So I'm painting some small ones for the show. Christmas
Yeah.
time's coming up, little gifts, that sort of thing.
Right.
And they're very sparkly, right? Because they have Swarovski crystals in them in the Universe
Okay.
series. So I'm putting in some crystals, and so that's what I'm doing right now. And then I have another exhibit. I have one painting of the other series creation going into the 80th anniversary show of the Federation of Canadian Artists. So
Yep.
that's coming up at the very end of November to November 29th to December 12th.
And where is
So
that, Sheila?
that the Federation is in Granville Island on Cartwright
Okay.
Street. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
yeah. So
So that's
I'm
right
doing
after
something.
the crawl, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not. Crawls usually. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
it's
when your
coming. When
crawls
is
this
it? Next
year.
12th, 13th, 14th, or whatever the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Friday,
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crawl
That's,
is coming up then because there's a bunch. Again, still there's a bunch of artists that are with me that are part of the crawl.
oh, it's fantastic. I'll have to check it out.
Oh, it was so much fun. Wasn't it always fun? I used to meet you and Derek there going through.
Yep. Yeah. Lots of studios there.
Yeah, I suggest
East side.
everybody go to the crawl because even if I mean, of course you should buy and support local artists, but even to just go and look, it's
Hmm.
amazing, right?
Yeah. A lot of talent in the city.
Yeah, there sure is.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between your two series? Tell me what the difference is between the creation and the universe.
Yes. Yes. So the Universe is more about sort of what's out to the sky and beyond, right?
Okay.
And it's that curiosity for me, and it's about possibilities, right? So it's about, when we look outside, sometimes we forget our sense of possibilities in life. And so when I look at the stars, I see a really, what's beyond all of this, what we don't know, right?
Okay.
And so that's what that's about. And your imagination, right? What could be out
Okay.
there? And so they're inlaid with Swarovski. So they have a different kind of, so it mimics like Twinkle of the Stars.
Is that like the one right behind you in the purples and violets and
Yeah, I'll show it. I'll bring it a little closer. So
okay?
here we go.
Yeah.
It's sort of,
That reverse, right? Oh,
yeah,
that's
the
gorgeous.
reverse. So you can see this
That's
crystals in there.
So do
And
you
under,
choose crystals based on anything, or do you just choose crystals like energies, or do you choose crystals that are part of like the colors, or what do you do?
well, for the Swarovski, I kind of with the colors a bit more.
Okay.
Um, and I want them to twinkle. So whatever looks best in the painting for that, then
Okay.
that's what I create. And it's
Okay.
certain lighting really picks it up. So they really do sparkle under certain lights.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm working on these ones, and
So
then the
that's
others.
beautiful. I love that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And the other series creation is about Earth. So our environment, the Earth that we see. For me, it's about not only the landscapes that I've seen in my life, but it's their energy as well, and a bit of, imagination and creativity there. And all my travels, I've seen a lot of different places in my life, and how I value those things. And so I use natural crystals in as opposed to
Okay.
Swarovski in those
So there
paintings.
where the real crystals come in.
Sorry?
That's where the real crystals come in then.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
real crystals come in, and I layer them throughout the layers within the painting. So you can see some of them a little bit, but they're not as visible as, to say, the Swarovski pops in a certain way. And
Yeah.
because I'm trying to create a piece, but you have to ride that balance with crystals, between sort of crafty, kitschy, and and a painting,
Yeah.
right? So I layer them, and sometimes they stand out a bit, like you can see them, and they definitely do grab. When you see them in person, there's something about that texture that I've used textures before in acrylic, but when I use natural crystals, it grabs you in a whole different way.
Well, the
So
universe ones are beautiful with the crystals because they're almost like little stars that twinkle in the
yeah,
night, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
so pretty.
And then the
Ginger
other
likes them
ones are
too.
more
Ginger likes them too.
oh, ginger. I like ginger.
And
Yeah,
the other ones are more subtle, probably, right?
subtle, but the textures are bigger.
Okay.
So it's interesting painting them because I'm so used to painting a certain way. And then all of a sudden you have all this texture that it grabs, like I said, it grabs me anyway differently than
Do
other
you have
textures
one
I've used.
there?
I do. I'll bring it up.
Okay, please. I want to see it. Oh, it's big too.
Yeah, it's a big one. I don't have any little ones, tiny ones in this series, but it's more. It's hard to see it
Okay.
on the wall, but
Oh, okay. Can you go put that in front of where those two little ones are? Because I think we could see it better that way. Because it's a little muddy, so I want to see it
yeah.
a little bit more.
Here, I'll take a slip off. I don't know if you can.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you're actually painting a crystal, is what you're doing. It's not incorporating them into it.
Yeah, so each layer has crystals that go into it, and then I paint over and over with textures and crystals, many, many layers through. And so when it creates this really unique texture that I really like. So, and I
That's
can,
awesome.
yeah, thank you.
It also has a bit of that underwater feel that like your series of water.
Yes. Water is
Right?
a theme with me, definitely. And it's interesting. I was the girl that took 3 tries to pass out of yellow in the first swimming class, right? So water doesn't come, like I told you before, water doesn't come naturally to me at all.
Okay.
But I paint it. And
Isn't
I do
that
try
funny,
my
right?
best with it.
And do you like swimming now, or is it still something that you're like, no, not really?
I go in the ocean, but I don't swim well. I dog paddle. That's pretty much, I can float a bit. I can't do that much. And I usually, if I go snorkeling, I have to wear a vest because I'm not super comfortable in the water. But obviously, I want to be if I'm going in it. So maybe
Okay.
someday.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So you've got the one series go. So you've got 2 shows coming up, which is great, or 2
Yeah.
pieces. One piece being shown with the Federation of Canadian Artists. Who else is in that group that we know? Anybody?
Oh, with the Federation, there's a lot of people. I know C's as a member. She does a lot of shows with them. I don't know if she's in this one, but she does a lot of shows with them too. And there's a
Who's
lot of
that?
artists. Aziza, Aziza.
Aziza. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
in the
she's a
book.
member of the Federation as well. And I
Okay.
think there's some other artists, but there's a lot of artists in that federation. Like it's
Right.
huge.
And then
Yeah.
the show that you're doing, how many artists are featured?
Oh, I'm not sure, but it's going to be at least 40, I would think. Each person
Oh, that's
you
awesome.
yeah, they do a jury, and then you put some work up for jury, and they decide whether you get a piece in or not. So that's how it works there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when you're done, so you're just going to keep on working on these 2 series?
I think so for now, unless I get an insight to start something else. I mean, you have to keep growing as an artist, right? So sometimes I might try something. Maybe I'll try watercolor or another medium just to see how it goes, right? Because you want to keep your process fresh.
Well, it's always interesting. Like I know there's a couple of our artists, Tammy Bailey. I love Tammy, and Tamara Spence. I'm loving her watercolors, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun to see them branch out and to do something a little bit different.
Absolutely.
But these are
Absolutely.
quite different. Like I remember when you first did this series, it's quite different than what you did before.
Yeah. I think as you keep doing a series, it keeps evolving, you know.
Yep.
So, the first few, are, I think, then you compare them to later on, you can see how it changes for
Yep.
sure.
Did you go to art school, Sheila?
I did. I went to Langara, actually. I did their fine arts diploma program, and
Okay.
I loved it, actually. I would actually recommend anyone who wants to take training for arts to do it because it's very hands-on. It's not as much theory. You do take art history and English, I think, is in prerequisites, but it's a pretty amazing program, and it's not excessively long. Some artists go for different training, right? But that's their thing. I didn't want to do excessive amounts of training. I just wanted to get enough that, yeah.
So that would be
really
for
good
Emily
program.
Carr if you were going to do that, wouldn't it be? Like for
Yeah,
the
yeah. It's Emily Carr's a whole different thing than Langara, and Langara was the right choice for me,
yeah.
and I would highly recommend it.
How many years have you been painting?
Oh, since 2005, I think, started showing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a while now. That's
And
gone by
you're
fast too.
holy cow, eh? And I
Yeah.
think I met you at would I have met you at one of the shows for Splash at the Pendulum before
I
you were
don't
even
know.
with me?
I
Like I
don't
think
know.
we met with I think Tanya Slingsby somewhere before you started showing with me, I think is how it happened. If I
Yeah,
can,
it's very
right?
possible, right? Because we know some of the same people. We probably met in circles, previous to that, right? So it's hard to say, but yeah.
Yeah, love it. So you're in the art magazine for Pursuit 365.
Yes. Very
Do you have
excited.
your did you get your copy yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, it must be being mailed out. Everybody is like posting pictures of them.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting, right?
Yes,
I can hardly
absolutely.
wait to see her copies, but I have to wait for them both because Shelly's just gonna send me some in the mail with both of them.
Yeah.
So and you're in the book and you've been a great advocate for the book. Thank you so much for everything you've done. You've got people to go in it. Your husband's going in the second
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. It's a wonderful project.
What's your favorite thing about the project?
I think just the stories and the amount of just incredible women in this
Right?
project. They're just incredible women, and you know what they've overcome, how inspiring they are. How inspiring we all are. When we look at our lives, sometimes we're hard on ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes too hard on ourselves, actually, often. But it's
Typically.
wonderful to see that, you know, and everyone's able to take something from their life and turn it into something positive and inspiring for others. And I think that that's really important.
I know every story started out with like I'm the typical artist story of being angst and
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, you're all like that. I need an actual story. I need an actual story, okay? And then the stories that everybody came back with were like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like you really
Yeah.
you owned it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the community, I think, like that whole Facebook private group, I mean, that whole community of like, so you need to send me a poster so we can show to everybody in there that Sheila's doing this show, go see her work. Sheila's doing this show, go see her work. Because
Yeah.
that's the fun part about this. And everybody really enjoys it, I think. Everybody enjoys supporting each other.
I think so too. Very much so.
Yeah. And I think bringing in the men will be fun too, because, everybody talks about the guys that are not such great guys. There's a lot of good guys. You're married to one.
I certainly am. He's wonderful. He's
Yeah.
wonderful. I look forward to seeing all the men's stories and reading them too.
Yeah. Derek's one of my favorite guys. He's just a nice, nice man.
He is. He is.
So when you talk about your art, we don't have to go on for a long period of time here, but so what direction are you going? What do you want to see? Where do you see yourself in 2022?
I see myself going deeper with these series, but starting something else as well. And I'm quite a mystical person. And I think my art is going to reflect that side of me more and more throughout my life in different ways. And that's really who I am. And I'm not a person who can paint what I'm not for very long. You know, I have to be very true to my own self. And I think I see that coming out further and further, you know, and
do you do commissions? Do you do commissions?
I do commissions. I mean, I like to have a lot of reign over the commissions myself, but I do commissions. Yes.
It would be more difficult in your case to do a commission, I would think, because it's not just like, oh, I want a portrait. Like Janine does pet portraits, super easy. Send a photograph, right? But I think it would be more difficult to do, you know, one of those type of pieces for somebody and have them, you know, that'd be a lot like buy one of the ones that are painted kind of things, right?
I actually, you know, agree with that. Like I could do a commission for sure. But I think that some of the most, with my kind of art, it comes out spontaneously, and some of the fun stuff that comes out, and it comes out spontaneously, and it's really hard to replicate that. Sometimes if someone wants, some people go down to the detail with commissions, right? Of every little thing that they want, right? And the part of the beauty of it is that unknowing, going into something not knowing, and then finding something in it, right? And it's hard to do that sometimes with commissions.
Well, most artists hate commissions because they don't get to actually paint what they like. They have to paint what they don't like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, honestly, it's the same. I mean, I think when I look at your work, I compare it to like the pours that Janine does as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we had somebody say, well, I want one and I want it in these colors. And, you know, I like it like birch trees. It's like, it's an acrylic pour. You pour it, drag it, let the paint create itself.
Yeah. And I think sometimes some art lends really, really well to commissions, and other art is just better off if a person is commissioning something that they let the artist sort of take over. And if they can do that and they know that they'll be happy with that result, then I think that's a great match. But some people want to manage a lot of aspects of it. So for that kind of personality, I would say buy what I have.
Yeah.
Or show me what you like on my site. And if I create one that's similar, I'll send you a photo. And if you want to buy that, great. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. So I can hardly wait to see what you're making in the future. And I'm loving this work here.
Thank you.
And please send me posters so I could show everybody where you're going to be showing and what you're doing going forward. Okay.
Absolutely.
And I'm if you have anything at Christmas time, we have that Christmas group that we're doing. Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're going to send out an email to everybody that it's a Christmas market for Pursuit 365 participants to go in there and show your stuff and try to sell stuff, and everybody support everybody. So we'll send everybody the link soon.
That's wonderful. Look forward to it.
Awesome. Okay, Sheila, it's nice talking to you. It's like, it's been too long that we actually sat in the same room and had a lovely glass of wine together and talked for hours and hours about art. But I guess this will have to do until next year when I get there.
I know. Look forward to seeing you in person.
Right?
Yeah. Be great.
You too, sweetie. Okay. Thanks so much for taking the time to do this today. And I'll post it tomorrow and it'll be up for Thursday.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen.
Oh, no problem. I miss you.
Miss you too. Bye.
Bye.